mode.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Province Meeting 2013 Microsite Workshop webinar. My name is Amanda Rufo, and I will be your technical producer and moderator this evening. This webinar will be presented by Sally Harner. Our goal is to demonstrate the capabilities of the Province Meeting website and to get you familiar with the pages of the site and the resources available. Before we start the presentation, let's take a moment to ensure that everyone is ready and familiar with the webinar control panel. On the right side of your screen, you will see the attendee control panel, and on the left is the webinar viewer window. This viewer window will display the presenter screen when the webinar begins. The control panel can be minimized or expanded by clicking on the horizontal double arrow button in the upper left corner. Minimizing the panel allows a better view of the presentation. Take a moment to practice. There are a few features of the control panel that the attendee should know. First, be familiar with the Raise Your Hand button. This button is located along the left side of the control panel. It allows you to virtually raise your hand if you have a question or if you want to respond to a question being asked by the presenter. Click this button to raise your hand now. Go ahead and click again to lower your hand. Another important feature of the control panel is the questions pane. To submit a question, type it in the question box. These may be questions related to the presentation of the Province Meeting microsite or technical questions related to the GoToWebinar system. You may also be asked by the presenter to type your ideas or responses here as a part of an exercise during the webinar. Please send a quick note in your questions pane now. If you need to step away for a moment, do not close the GoToWebinar window, as you will be required to log in again if you wish to rejoin the session. If you experience problems with the audio, one possible solution is to use the conference call number and listen to the presentation using your phone. Click the Use Telephone option in the audio pane of your control panel to view the conference call number. The webinar is being recorded, and the online archive will be available to view on the CAPA website in approximately 2 weeks. Do we have any questions before we get started? All right, well, now I'd like to turn the microphone over to Sally. Sally, please.
Okay, hello everyone, and thank you so much for getting on this webinar. We've got a lot to cover tonight, and I'm going to do my very best to get through everything in an hour. You'll be able to ask your questions by typing them to Amanda, and she will hold questions until the very end. We'll be able to go over a few minutes over the hour if that works for everybody, but if not, and you do find yourself having unanswered questions or ideas, if you'll email me, I will get back to you with an answer, or we can start up a conversation. So let's get started. Tonight we're going to talk about how to access the site, how to use the single sign-on. I'm going to show you the front and the back side of the site. And by front side, I mean the public and registered side. Back side would be the administrative side, where you'll make your changes and additions, load up your content. I'll show you how to work with the site, how to put your people into groups so you can categorize them for purposes of email and texting. I'm going to tell you about specific email addresses that have been assigned for each province meeting site and administrator and province nominating chairs. Then I'm going to show you how to use email and texting functions within the site. After that, we'll have a few little surprises for you. But we'll start off by showing you the front side of a microsite. First of all, in 2011, every single province had a microsite designed and up on the internet. By microsite, we mean it's an internet web design that refers to individual web pages or small set of pages which function within an existing website. And in our case, the Microsite's main landing page has its own domain, which is right here at Provinces. Now, if you've worked with chapter or association sites, it'll say, instead of province, it will say association or chapter here. But everybody has their own site, and each province has this address, but given their own province name here, obviously. The sites are going to look similar to this. There'll be a slightly different color scheme, and there will also be a specific province meeting 2013 graphic. And those, when they're ready and all the content is loaded on, we will let you know how to get the site and get into it and start adding content. Before you do that, though, you can access your province site by Googling it or just typing in www.kappa. Well, I guess I would Google by going Kappa Province Meeting Theta or Mu News, whatever your province is. You can find it. You can log into it, but you won't have administrative privileges until we have everything ready to go. So the first thing you need to know is how to log in, and you'll see that we've tried to duplicate the main Kappa site by putting the login in the upper right-hand corner. This, for purposes of teaching, you're going to see the Theta Province meeting site, and I've loaded up as much content and made it as relevant to 2013 as possible. You'll see some pages as we go along that I don't have current content, so they aren't formatted similarly, but that's just to remind me I need to get into it. So if you look at it, your pages you'll have a welcome page. Everyone will have similar pages, but you'll obviously have to go in and put your local content in so that it reflects where you are, what you're doing, your dates, and so on. So we ask you to log in, and when you click this login, it should take you, see, I'm already logged in, but let me log out. And then we'll click login and see if we can, and this is what you'll get. It's the login page. It'll show you that it uses the same login credentials as the Kappa site. This is called single sign-on, what we've been pushing towards. Some of you are familiar with it. Some of you aren't. But what it means is that you'll use the login credentials or create a login account with the main Kappa site. Then those credentials will stand you to go into your local site and to the province site. So one username, one password takes care of the whole business. Most of you who are on this call probably already have credentials with the Kappa site, so you would use those credentials, obviously, to get in and access the site. But if you don't have an account set up or you don't remember that you do, you just click Sign Up here, and it will take you to the main Kappa site where you'll create an account. Fill it out, submit it. You'll get your information, and then you'll have to go back to the province site to log in. If you've forgotten your details, your password, username, you just click that, and the informational email is generated by headquarters, not by the local province site. So now we're going to log in, and you can see that when you get your administrative credentials, everybody's username will be province admin. How about that? Easy to remember. So we'll log in, and then now I'm logged into the site, and I will be able to see all the pages in the site. Before, there were some pages that were visible only to registered members, and those will not appear until you're logged in. So we're encouraging everyone to log in, obviously. But another thing that we would like them to do is to click on this link, which will take you down to mobile text messaging. That's a function that every single site, Microsite, has, both chapter and association, and in addition, the province sites. And that allows you to text message people who've provided their cell number, their service provider, and have given permission. Now, you may say, why do I want a text message on the province site? But I think that there are some uses. For instance, if you've got a group of people that you would like to get in touch with immediately, say the province nominating committee, you would put them in a group. I'll show you how to do that in a little while. And then you could just set up a text for them to meet you in room 2010 at 10:30 on Friday night after whatever the Friday night festivities or Saturday, whenever. So there are definitely uses for text messaging. Also, you can preset text messages, say reminding them about the candlelight banquet if they need to bring their songbook or whatever you might want, and set a time for them to go be broadcast to the people who like to receive text messages. We also, though, really, really, really would like to have their cell phone numbers, even if they don't want to be texted. And the reason is because when they provide us with their cell phone number, it goes into a member roster, which will show you on the back side of the site, and that gives the registrar the ability to prepare an attendees list with first name, last name, email, and cell phone number. And it won't look super sophisticated unless they want to make it so by doing a merge or creating a fancier document. But they would be able to prepare a quickie Excel document that they can just put on the site so that people can reference it and have that information. Personally, I think it's a pretty handy little deal, and I'm all over it. So that's your welcome page. Then you go on down to general information, and we have lots of pages under this general information. Again, local content. You're going to be maybe doing different things than other people. You also have content on your pages if you've created these kinds of pages. That will stay, and so you may just want to update it to reflect your program and not have to rewrite the whole thing, which I recommend highly not. I just adapt it because who's going to remember anyway? So this is the very first page of the general information. You'll see that this page right here is, it's even with the welcome. This is a parent page, and I'm going to show you on the back side what the difference is as far as the structure of the site on the administrative side. But a parent page just means that it has sub-pages, and you can even have sub-pages if you like. So where and when, all these things are grouped under information. This is a page that the formatting is obviously not the way I want it, but this is old information, and they haven't met yet. The Theta committee hasn't met yet to give me new information. You don't have to have these pages necessarily. There will be some pages that will be pushed to you, which will be like the About Us page on the association sites, and those pages you won't be able to edit or hide, but they're pages you're not going to want to edit or hide. These are optional that I'm showing you now until we get down to delegate credentials. That is a page that is not an optional page. Again, these are pretty self-explanatory about how you do it. There's content here that's waiting. I'm waiting for that information, so I've put it in there. One thing that you'll notice here, in my rule, and it kind of gets me a little bit that I'm breaking it, but full names are not supposed to appear on the public side of a website. But I do think that in this case, and I talked to Beth Black about it, we agreed that it's important information for potential attendees to have. So we're going to go ahead and include the names, but we don't have contact information. We figure if the people are that interested in getting a hold of these particular people, they can go to the main site and get that information there. The one person who does have an email address, but notice it's a generic email address, is the province nominating chairman. Every single province nominating chairman will have a unique province nominating chairman email with my.kkg.org, and it'll be whatever the province is, PNC. So that kind of helps in that particular area, makes me feel a little bit better. It's a generic. So okay, so we've got the who's going to attend. We've got our cost page. Yours is going to be different, obviously, because it's different, structure. You may not start until Saturday, whenever. So that just gives them some general information, and we've told them about the tax. Again, Theta Province has also a generic email address, and this can go to whomever you wish it to go. You set up the email account, and if the registrar wants to get it, if the local chairman wants to get email, they can all use it, or this registrar can get it and forward emails that may be appropriate to the different areas of the treasurer or local chairman, whomever. So again, I'll show you how to set up the emails on the site. So then we get down to transportation. This part of it is the same for every single person. Obviously, driving instructions will be different for every area, but it's just kind of a helpful little thing. You don't have to have it by any means. Same deal with meals. We just set it up again so that they can get an idea. We do think it's very helpful to be able to let them say whether they have dietary restrictions or if they wish to have vegetarian meal. Here it is. We also ask it on the registration form on the site. What to bring, just general information. I think a lot of people put that on their sites last time. Again, it's pretty standard. We tried to make as many of the province meeting documents that used to be like PM 06, PM 02, all those business. We tried to make them online forms, which you'll see in just a minute. There are two, I believe, that are not online. One is online, one is also on a Word document, which, by the way, are being changed to PDFs because that seems to be the format that is more easily fillable by every platform, Mac and PCs. But the delegate credentials have got to be printed out and brought to the meeting, and so that's why the credentials are here. Of course, you click on this, it opens up your Word document, and it can be printed off and brought. Then we put the rules for province meeting. I believe that those rules are going to appear also in the province meeting materials that are resources which are down here, but those resources are only going to be available to the fraternity officers, the local committee. It's not that they're secret or anything. It's just that that's where they will be, and that's registered. But I also believe that they go in the packets, the meeting packets of the attendees. So we just put them on the site just so we could have them there. So end of general information, and then we move on to schedule of events. The delegate credentials are something that cannot be taken off or done anything with, and as are the rules for province meetings. Those will be like the About Us. Again, if you want to have your schedule on there, great. I'll format this when it's all ready to go. And obviously workshops, this is out of date as well, but it tells me I need to get in there. Then we get to meeting registration, and you'll see that this is the parent page. It's out here, and this is just the general information about the meeting registration, the generic email address, make the checks payable. State or province have the option of PayPal not available for groups of 5 or more. Now, Amanda asked me a question the other day. Apparently, a lot of their advisory board and House board members tried to group together so they could get a discount if there was one. But state or province, it's only $10 per registrant, and it's really primarily geared to the chapter members. But so it's up to you, I guess, how you want to handle that. Then, rather than we do have the option of the meeting registration form in Word, but we also provided a meeting registration form that is fillable and submittable online. It will go to whomever you designate should get it. I think the registrar would be the logical person. But I'll show you on the back side. I mean, you could send it to everybody, in the universe if you want to set it up that way. Again, this top part is called WYSIWYG part, and this part you can edit easily. Oh, I see a typo. February. I knew we would do this. I told Beth, I said, I'll open it up, and I swear there'll be one. So anyway, fix that. But this will be unique to your particular association or province meeting. So this begins the form. Anything that has an asterisk by it is a required field. So you're familiar with those. You're familiar with the required fields that you see all the time. These are called short text fields, but there's no limit to a short text field. You could put the Gettysburg Address in there if you wanted to. The only limit is how much visibility you have on it. Coming down here, this is a long text field, obviously. Hopefully people aren't going to have that long of addresses, but they might. All this. Okay, so then we come down here. This is required. They have to say yes or no. Again, you're going to get this information more than once, but that's just the way we have to do it, so we can try to at least get it once. So coming on down here.
Sally,
Yes?
it seems that we're having a little bit of audio problems.
Okay,
Uh,
can you better?
maybe if you could try to adjust your mic or something, and then we can
Okay.
get some more feedback from people.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear it? Amanda?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you fine though, but it's other
Okay.
people that are having some difficulties. So
Oh, alrighty.
I'll
Okay,
keep going
I'll
on
try
it.
to talk up.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay, and if anybody's having a problem, let me know and I'll yell louder. All right, so once we get down to the bottom of the form, we've asked for the option of being able to pay their registration. They have to fill this out. If you don't have the PayPal option, if you're not going to have a PayPal account, then you can remove this. You can just edit this form and remove it to suit your particular needs. When you click Submit Form, and it won't work because I haven't submitted the form yet, I haven't filled out the required fields, it will take you to a success page, which is a page that has the PayPal code and box that you can click on and pay for PayPal. I'll show you when we get to the back of the site. It will also show you, I hope you all can hear me because I'm getting text from Amanda that she says, can I speak into the mic? And I am. I feel like I'm yelling. But anyway, it'll
Yeah,
also,
Sally, you're doing okay. You're doing
okay,
okay.
great. Okay. It'll also, you submit the form, and it will give you the option of paying by PayPal, as I said, unless you don't have PayPal. And it will give you information about the registrar's, which you'll have to put in, your registrar's address, whatever kind of payment information you have. Now, one thing you do need to do is you need to be sure that your PayPal account, if you had one for Province Meeting 2011, isn't unique to the city that had the province meeting. For instance, in 2011, ours was in Fort Worth. I think they set it up. So that means that if it's in a different city, which now this is in Lubbock, they'll have to go in and make sure that they have the PayPal account that applies to this current province meeting, and then they have the proper code to put on the site so that when people are clicking submit, it's not going to last province meeting people. You need it at your place. So this is the meeting registration form. Coming down here, this is just information about the hotel. I think everybody had that on theirs in 11. Now we come down to nominate someone. Again, this is the parent page, so it has the general information. You edit it to satisfy your province requirements. We've included descriptions of both PDA and PDC for the information of people interested in nominating someone or nominating themselves. Then there is a recommendation form that they fill out. Now, again, this is a pretty standard thing. I think 2 weeks before province meeting, that may not be what you all want to do, so you can change it. You may submit more than one person. Once you click the submit form, you'll be brought back to a blank recommendation form. When you click the submit form, it will also generate an email to the person who has completed this form. So if I have nominated someone, when I click submit, I'll receive an email to my email address that I've registered on the site saying, thank you, Sally, for submitting this nominating form. I'll show you how that all works. Then if, in fact, it is you who wants to self-submit, or if the person that has been nominated needs to fill out the biographical data form, they'll go to this form and fill it out and submit it. This form will go to the province nominating chair, and we'll set that up on the site. You may need to do that yourself. But at the end of the form, we ask that they send a resume or curriculum vitae or photo to the province nominating chairman. When they click submit form, the email that they receive will have that information, her address and her email information, personal information. So the forms, the curriculum vitae, resume, and the photo may be sent either electronically or they may be sent through U.S. mail. That's up to the person who's filling out that form. So that takes care of the nominating thing. Then we have the nominated candidates, and these are the people who are nominated just for the information. Again, that is not a required page by any means. Contact us. Every site has that. Now, we talk about something called CAPTCHA. You'll see it when we go into the settings. And CAPTCHA is just this, verification, 3 multiply 4, and that's to protect from spam bots going through and harvesting any information or people filling out all kinds of stuff and, flooding our mailboxes. So we don't want that. We have this here. We do ask them if they're a collegiate or alumni member. That, I think, is pretty standard. Province meeting attendees. Now, this is where the information that we've gotten from the registration, people logging in, that information can be put there. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can hide this page or delete it. Then we come down to a meeting evaluation form. This form will be on every site, and it will be set, and I'll show you how to do this, in your settings. It won't be visible until 10:30 on the Saturday night of your province meeting. Then we'll set it up that way. Then it'll go live then. Well, the province admin will. It'll go live. It'll be visible for a certain period of time, and then it will no longer be live. We did this last province meeting at Theta. We had 100 attendees, more or less, and we had almost 50 online evaluation forms. And I just think it was wonderful. It was very helpful. Now, one thing I will say, and I know everybody wants this, and me too, but it's just not in the cards for now. All of the information that you get off of these online forms has to be harvested by someone, either the registrar or whomever you've designated as a person who's going to receive this form. It doesn't just write to the database. Wish it would, and it will. Maybe, hey, how about in 2015? We'll hope for that. But you do have the information, and the other nice thing about it is it sends an email. This will be sent as an email to whomever you would like to receive it, and it stays on the microsite. Up to 50 submissions, or you can set as many as you want. I don't know what the biggest province meeting attendance is, but I'd say 50 is pretty good. But if you think you're going to get more than that, great. I'm all for it, and I wish you the best. So that's the meeting evaluation form. We took a lot of questions off and really tried to keep it just hit the high points. We didn't ask any specific questions about workshops because workshops may change, and so if they didn't like that particular workshop, it doesn't really matter, because if the next biennium we don't offer that workshop, that information is really not necessary. Now we come to a thing, PM resources, and this is content pending. This material is at headquarters now and has been for a while, and it's just being formatted with the new brand and made to look prettier, nicer. As soon as we get that, which hopefully will be in the next week or so, we'll load all of that content into your province meeting sites, and that will be pushed with the site to you so that you can use it at the much as you like. Then we come down to mobile text messaging, and this is, again, the part where you give your account and so on. And this is the list of registered users of mobile text messaging. Well, let me just tell you, only 2 people want to be text messaged in Theta province, and both of them are me. But hopefully you'll have a lot more people on your site, and I'll show you on the Austin site what it looks like as far as the mobile text messaging goes. I've got that site up. So that is the front side of the site. Now we go to the back, and this is what the back side looks like. To get to the back side of the site, if you put in this URL here, just provinces, kappa kappa gamma.org theta, and you type in here admin, it will take you to this side of the site if you're an admin. So these are the things that you have to work with. Pages shows you the diagram of all of the pages that you see here. This is where they are. When you see a plus, that means that that's a parent page, and it has children underneath it. Now, I have here 41st Data Province Meeting Minutes, and I'm trying to get those from 42nd. But anyway, you can put those on as you want to. This little cog right here gives you the settings, and really up until you can see these blue little computer screens. This color means these are public pages, viewable to anybody who wants to come onto the site and look at it. All this is public. You expand all this is public. This is hidden because this is the payment page when you submit your meeting registration form. It goes to this page. This is what it looks like on the back side. This is what the PayPal code that you've gotten from PayPal looks like. The way you get the code in, and don't worry about any of this. If you can't remember it all, it's a lot. All you have to do is get in touch with Nicholas at headquarters, or I'll help you out. But to get the code, you copy it from PayPal, you come onto Source, you scroll down to where you want it to be in your site, you paste it in, and there it is. It's a miracle. So that's pretty handy. But that only shows, I'll show you what it looks like when you, that is what the payment page looks like after you've submitted your form, your online registration form. Now, we did include the meeting registration form for people to print off. If you've got an older member who doesn't have a computer for whatever reason, it's there. It's the old form. Hopefully the new one will be up in PDF form, and it will reflect our current look. But so that's what the payment page looks like. Back to the back side. I think you can kind of look around and see. You'll see these pages right here, nominated candidates. This page is a page that is for registered members only, and those people, allowed viewers, are province members, administrators, nominating committee. A province member is anybody who comes onto the site. As official family also is in that category, but they will come in. Official family will come in by default as a registered member of the site. So we don't have to worry about that so much. This one right here, a little bit more secret. We have made them, these are private. And the only people who can see this are province administrators, local committee, and official family. Not that there's anything that's secret on there, but it's just that nobody else really is going to be interested in that so much, since that's the province manual. Then there's a page that we cannot see right now at all, and that is under nominated. Nominate someone. There will be a page that will be viewable only by the province nominating chairman, the fraternity visitor, and Martha Kumler, the fraternity nominating chairman. So the local admins don't need to worry about that at all. They won't even see it. I will put all of those, the names of those people in there. Now, there is nothing that is negative about anybody that goes in that section. It's just the forms that only have to deal with them that none of us ever see unless we happen to fall into that category of fraternity life of nominating. So anyway, don't worry about that. You won't see it. So I shouldn't, just want you to know that it's going to be there just for general information. So now I'm kind of going fast, but I'm going to show you how to work on your registration form a little bit, to change the settings and so on. This is the top part of the form right here. This part right here that you see at the very top, all the way to all delegates, is this. Easily, you can do anything you want. You want to put a graphic in there, you can just do whatever you want. These are the fields, and if you want to add anything, if there's some specific thing that you think is important to your group to know, all you do is click on Add Field. Then you, oh, success, good news. You say what it is. You pick the type of field that you want it to be. Don't worry about this. If you feel intimidated, we can help you on that. But then the settings, that's important. You'll see here, I told you about that CAPTCHA. It's disabled here. This is maximum submissions per hour is 50. Wouldn't that be hilarious if you got 50 in an hour? Submissions stored in database is 50. You can increase that if you want, but you don't really need to because, again, that will be coming to you to your email. You don't need to worry about any of this stuff unless you know about it and want to do something about it. Right here, you can put as many email to whom these go. Theta Province, hopefully that's the registrar. Suzanne Blake happens to be the registrar for Theta Province, so I put her personal email in. Anybody else you want. So it will generate an email to you that will say to the registrant, results from form, it's from this address, and then it says thank you for submitting your registration form. Down here, the success page says payment page. So you can, if you set up a form someplace else and you want it to be another page, you can create it and make it be that. Don't change this though. You'll just keep it that way to make it easy for you. The another page though that you might want to look at is this nominate on the nominating form, because you'll have to fix that. And again, I'm coming over here to settings, clicking on that, and then I'm going to manage sections, and you'll see that there's a WYSIWYG and a form there. So when we go to the form, then it has the settings. And again, this is a standard, this is the form. You won't want to be changing it, but you will be doing something with the settings. And that means that you'll put in Mimi is our province nominating chairman, and it says there, and there's no success page, so it doesn't go anywhere when you fill out that form. It just goes there. Now, but going back here to this page, and then we'll start doing some fun stuff after this. Or maybe you think this is fun. Hope so. Biographical data form. This form, again, manage sections. We're going to go to form because there's no WYSIWYG thing. We didn't put anything. We're going to go, I'll show you when you do get submissions, this is where they start showing up down here. But if you go to settings, again, we've disabled the CAPTCHA, Mimi, and it's going to go to both her regular email and the Theta Province nominating. And then you see you can create any kind of text you want for your emails that go out. But it says here, please submit either your resume, and then it goes on. This is her information here, so that the person who's filled out the biographical form has it. And this never shows any place on the site so that anybody could, from the public side could get in or even, register. You have to be an admin to be able to access that information. So, okay, I've shown you that. And again, I'm just trying to show you what it can do without going through the whole thing, which I already am. Now, somebody said they wanted to know how to put pictures on. And I think they meant photos, but we're not going to put photos on today. But I'm going to show you. I want to put something in my general information page because it's a little blah. So I have media that you can go to this field right here. And there's media already on, and you may have other things. This is from last time we had it at the Fort Worth Hotel. So I have already created some media. They're super darling because I'm more creative this way. But we'll go into Kappa Graphics, and there's the fleur. So I want to put that fleur into this page. So what I'll do is I'll come here to General Information again, and I'm going to put my cursor where I want it, just down here. I'm going to go to this picture, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to browse server, and the server is me server, our site, and I'm going to go into Kappa Graphics, and I'm going to put that. Now you see here I can make it be bigger or smaller, but that's just about the right size, and there it is. And then I can center it. Be sure you save it. And then if you want to view it, you can come up here to view, and hopefully it'll come up. Well, good news, it didn't. General information. All right, well, let's see. Once you know, it wouldn't work tonight, but it usually does, so I promise it'll work. But if you want to create content, and I'll show you how to do, we're going to do emails next, and I'm going to show you. All right, guys, I lied. But anyway, it does work, I promise, just not tonight. If you want to email your group, and you can do this also from, I'm going to close that. The way you would email would be to come down to email. Now, I have this little test page thing. I fiddle with things sometimes in practice. You might want to do that to see how it's going to work out, and then nobody sees it because it's grayed out. So to email, you click on that little email icon, and then you select a group of people to whom you want to email. Now, right now, there aren't a lot of people loaded up on this site, so I'm going to take you over to the Austin site, and I'll show you how it works. Here's email here, and I'm going to select a mail group, and I'm just going to make it be association members. It loads everybody in that group into the blind carbon copy, and you can email 500 people, as many as you need. But the one thing you can't do is select and delete an email address, which is why you want to create groups, specific groups that you assign your members if you want to use this function. Now, if you want to ask people, join us for Province, and actually I'm going to change this to just be admin test so it won't be sending it to everybody and their dog. Then I created a little invitation. That's a Word document that I just made. You'll just be so impressed with my abilities. And I'll show you what it looks like on the, this is what it looks like. I know, it's really lousy, doesn't it? And then I might want to type a little note down here to join us, please. And then when I'm ready to send it, I can send it. And there is the invitation that has been created. Now notice that it's a Word document. But I'll send it, and that's what I will see is that particular document right there coming to my email. Okay, pretty simple. Now, you may want to be a little fancier than that. And if you think that that's the way you want to go, for instance, what we do on our events calendar is we load up the invitation. We save it as a JPEG or whatever other media file, save it, and put it in our site like this. So if you wanted to have something, that kind of a graphic, you can do that as well. You just create it. You save it as, when you go to your media folder, you'll find it. You'll browse wherever you put it, if you keep it on your desktop or whatever. I'm going to just do that. You may want to create a folder for your graphics and for your media, your newsletters, whatever you have. And I recommend it because once you load it into this site, if you haven't put it in a folder, you're going to have, just dozens of loose pictures down here messing up things. Another little hint is, especially for associations, it's a great place to put all of your invitations that you've done for the year, make a folder, invitations 2012, 2013, newsletters. When it's time to apply for your association awards, you've got all your stuff right on your site. And it, believe me, makes a big difference to have it handily done. So I've got that. I can put as many down here as I want. I can upload it. Amanda says I got 15 minutes. We'll be going as fast as I can. You'll upload it. It'll and it says one file is successfully loaded, and then you'll see that there it is right there in the site. And you can use it anywhere you want. Promise it works. Okay. Let me see if I've missed anything because one thing I do want to say about your media, you be sure that if you're using any kind of photographs or images that you've gotten online, that they are not copyrighted images, or if they are, that you have permission, because we have gotten some kind of touchy letters from people who've seen our site, some site, not the main site, but I've done it myself, and I'm very aware of it now. You can go on Google and look for something that's called Creative Commons licensed content. And that's content that people have put on the internet that they give you permission to use. Basically, I think that I may have covered it all. If I haven't, well, we'll just get it another time. But anyway, a couple of things that I want you to remember, and that is really important. Sorry that we're not going to be so funny, fancy, but as soon as the province sites are loaded with all the materials, and hopefully that's going to be the first week in September, the communication PD will get an email from me with access information. And as I said, before that time, you can get your site by just Googling what your province meeting is, and you'll see it. Once you have finished your site and you're ready for it to go live, if you'll let me know so that I can look at it and just make sure that all the links work and everything is good, then we'll go ahead and get it up for you. It's a quick turnaround and shouldn't be that hard, again, since all of your sites are already created and all you have to do is update. There is a tutorial that Nicholas has done. Here it is here, and I can send you that link. On the email setup, the mykkg.org, it's a simple thing to do. I use that email all the time. I really do like it. You can set it up on anything. You can go through Outlook. It can go through your on your iPhone, iPad, however you want to set it up. All of the above, and these are how you do it. The other thing I want to say to you is, if you don't remember anything else, we are here to help. I don't want anyone to spend more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes trying to figure something out. And if you can't figure it out or remember, just let us know. Give us a call. We will be there for you. The guys aren't there on the weekend, and there's some things that I really can't do. Sometimes formatting gets a little wonky, and that's something that Nicholas has to go in and do, backside HTML. But otherwise, we're here for you, and we want to make it as easy and as non-frustrating as possible. So I hope I've covered everything. If you got any questions, now's the time.
All right, Sally. So we do have some questions.
Okay.
One is from Lisa. What is a WYSIWYG?
A WYSIWYG is just what you see is what you get, and you'll see. I'll show you here. When you come to this form, see here, what you see is what you get. That's what a WYSIWYG is. Good question, though.
Okay, and we have 3 questions from BJ.
Okay.
How does one become a registered user of the site?
Okay, and that's by logging in to the main, using your credentials, your username and password that you have from the main Kappa site. So, if your name your username is JSMITH and your password is Smith on the main site, that's what you'll use on the province site.
Okay, and can all PDs be administrators or just one?
As many as you want. It's better not to have a lot of administrators, because too many cooks can really spoil the soup, and only from the aspect of formatting and that kind of thing. It's somebody told me the other day, one of the person who actually is the lead PDA for Theta has administrative privileges to the site, and she got in, and oh my gosh, it wasn't anything she did, but it was what she did that caused formatting to kind of go wonky, and so I'd keep it as simple as I possibly could.
Okay, great. We have a couple more coming in. Another one from BJ is, if the cell phone updated for mobile text, does that get updated in the galleys?
No. If you've updated your, well, okay, that's a really good question, BJ, because that's something we just have been talking about a lot. If you go in, that's one reason why we really want to push single sign-in through the main site, the main Kappa site, because hopefully, and it's not our official family members as much as it is, people are just coming to it. Hopefully they'll log in and they'll edit their member information. When they do that, you will get on the access, I didn't show this. When you click access, you'll be able to see users, and this is all the users on your site. Now, this is the Austin site. But when you see this kkg.org, that means that those people have logged in through the main site. And when that happens, it pushes their email address to the association site or the province site. It's also going to push their cell phone numbers to the site, because and this is available on your association sites as well, and I know a lot of you are regional directors and province directors who are just getting familiar. Excuse me, you can get an alumni association spreadsheet that's generated, and this is what it looks like. Now, all these people on this that are green are people who've logged in through kkg.org. What we asked was that, see, just because of the username, a lot of people don't use their last name as a username, and that's perfectly fine. But so this roster is split by first name, last name, email, and then cell phone numbers. These have come in. These were done before we made that IMUS pushing through. So anyway, the hope is that we'll have this. When we get all of this information, if it's somebody, say for instance, this Beth Couch, if she really can't come in without using her credentials, but if she provided her cell phone number to us at registration, we can we can just use these particular columns, and we can send that information to Melissa Bussey, and she can get the information then for people who haven't provided their cell phone numbers through the main site. Does that answer that question? I hope it does.
Okay, and then we have another question here from Lisa.
All right.
Can we change what content is seen on the public versus the private site? And that's because her province wants to have a green meeting where docs are online and not in a packet. So they want their materials to be private.
Sure. Yes. And again, the way you do that is you would go to pages on the admin side. Just say, for instance, you want the welcome page to be private. You come over here to the little cog, and now in visibility, you click private or registered or whatever. And then you can go over and select from these people who can see this page. So yes, you can make your whole. One thing though that you want to think about, and I had never thought about this, and on the old main site we talked about this a lot. A lot of that you had to be logged in as a member. Well, finally we kind of figured out, there's a lot of information on there that really isn't that secret. Anybody can find it, and unless it has anything to do with ritual or really some of the deep operating things that we do, most of the things that we have are pretty public. Now, you obviously don't want your meeting attendees list to be public. So kind of weigh that, because as somebody said one time, why do I want to be a member of your club when I can't see anything that you do? So, we're using this as a tool, and we want people to be interested in coming. So that definitely, though, the local admin has that option, except, again, on the pages that we push to you that, um, again, are like the About Us page on the chapter and association sites.
All right. Well, she loved that. Thank you.
Yeah.
We have another question from Jessica. She says she's logged in as a admin, but does not have admin permissions. Anything special that she needs to do to get permission to view all the tools?
Right. Yes. She has to wait for me. We're not. You won't have administrative access until we have all the content loaded and the graphic design. The design's going to look like this. It's going to be another colorway approved, and also I don't know what the graphic is going to be, but that all should come to you the first, hopefully, let's all cross our fingers, first week of September. So until then, you can look at it. You can figure out what you need to update and fix content-wise. And so then when it becomes visible, if you've done that, you're ready to go.
Okay, and we have one more question from Lisa. Electronic check. That's what she's wondering. What is that, and do we set that up via the local bank account?
So that's you setting it up. For instance, if you have online banking, so say for instance, if I were going to pay my fee, I bank at USAA. I'd go into my bank account. I'd say that I wanted to go to the Theta Province Registrar. This is the address, and I would send it that way rather than a check via U.S. mail. Well, that actually would go U.S. mail, but it would, it's an electronic check. I'm not writing it. Handwritten. We could go on.
All right, and we have a question from Gretchen. How far in advance of the province meeting should the website go live?
They can go live the minute you're ready for them to. The first province meeting is Zeta, and I think they're the 8th of February. So, you can put them up whenever you want. I look at it and I think, if you get your site, like again, I said, I've got my fingers crossed, the 1st of September, it's going to take you a while to get everything together. If your group hasn't had its site visit yet, if you haven't had a chance to set your schedule, if that's something that's important to you to put on, you've got to make sure your registration materials all reflect, your deadlines and dates and people to send. So, it would seem it's possible that you can get it on there, say, the second week of September, and why not? The events calendar on the main site is going to be populated with the province meeting dates. In fact, I think they had a test one up, and it wasn't exactly working the way we wanted it to. But you will be able to somehow access province meeting sites, I think, from the main site, and your dates will be on the calendar. So to answer your question, I would say whenever you're ready to put it up and it's been approved by me, it's fine with me. I mean, why wait? It'll be out there. And you're going to start pushing, I know, a lot of information. Your chapters are going to be getting ready. It may help your associations if they can see how much it's going to cost, where it's going to be. They'll have all that information handy for them to make a decision and budget. Hopefully they've already budgeted, but maybe not.
Okay, and we have another one coming in. Will the registrants get emails that the site is updated, or do we manually email through the backsite?
If you have registrants, you will be the one who communicates with them. So yes, if you want to update them about the site, my feeling is get as many people on that thing. Oh, one thing I do want you to know though, if an official family member kind of is lurking around, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but I noticed that somebody had logged into the Theta Province meeting who is a province officer from another province, which is perfectly fine. Hey, listen, everybody's going to be looking around at what everybody's doing, but that person will show up as a registered member of your site. So I kind of wrestled with that idea. I thought, well, okay, if the meeting registrar wants to go through and, reconcile the registrants and weed out those people, but really, who cares? I mean, they're going to know that they're not a member of Theta Province. So that's just the way it seemed to as far as a possibility of what workability, that's how it's going to work out. So yes, you just email everybody who's registered on your site, but you will assign them to groups. And again, let me show you about that. You'll come here to users, and then it'll say modify or delete user. You can also add users. Say, for instance, you've got a speaker who you would like to come be on your site, but she's not a Kappa maybe. You can add that person here. The admin can do that and put her on so that you can communicate with her if you so desire. I'm just using that as an excuse. But just say that, Joe Berg here, I'm going to put her in. I'm going to modify her, and I'm going to add her to some of the groups. Because, again, remember, association members, that's everybody that's on the site, or province members in this case, and this is an association website. So, but say she has come on the alum board. You can select as many of these categories as you want to assign the person, and all you do is just press Control, click that, save, and then that assigns her to the different groups from which you can text and you can email. So that's how that works, and it's pretty easy to do. This is kind of a cool feature. I tell you, I love it.
Okay. Well, we don't have any further questions, Sally.
Great. 8:02. Yay. Thank you all so much. Please
So,
don't.
yeah, we thank you for leading our session today and for all you participating. We really appreciated the questions. If you have any further questions that come up, though, please don't hesitate to contact Sally at techchair@my.kkg.org. As we close the webinar, a survey will open on your screen, and you'll be prompted to respond to a few evaluation questions. Please take a moment to share your thoughts on today's webinar. Your feedback will help us shape future webinar training events. If you have any additional questions or comments whatsoever, please send an email to Karen Holmes at kholmes@kkg.org. So that's all that we have for you tonight. Thank you again, Sally. We appreciate it.